Hey everyone, it's Patty from pspapercrafts. It's Friday and I'm so glad to be with you. I'm glad you joined me. Today is the last day of May 31st, and we are making a pocket card, and very easy card to make. I will be coming out with my June calendar. That'll be out tomorrow, and if you want it, you can subscribe to my email list and you'll get it. Each month I send it out, the brand new one, and then each week I have a weekly roundup email, and I have a link for it in there as well. So if you missed the first one, you'll get it each week. So anyway, this is the pocket card that we're making today, and I got this idea from Karen Titus, and she is amazing. I love all her fun folds and her ideas. So I found it, and I basically took her measurements, so they're not my measurements, but I have a different designer series paper and sentiment and things like that. So isn't this pretty? So this just pulls out, and then the designer series paper opens up. So you have to make sure that the inside of your designer series paper isn't like too wild and upside down. Like, you wouldn't want this on the inside, because part of it, I guess it would be upside down. I think you just want something kind of bland. And a lot of our papers do have a side with a floral or pictures, and then kind of a plain side. So I thought this worked good. And then this is the background. And these papers, these are so pretty. I just got this. You know, I'm a little behind on some of the new products that came in. So this is the wildly flowering designer series paper, and this is just right up my alley because I love flowers. So this is the side that we're using for the background, and then look at this. Isn't that beautiful? I love the blues. So we're using this one, but I'll just give you a peek. They're just really pretty. So this would be a good one as well because it's got this inside is kind of plain. This would be a little wild, I think, but it might work because it's not really directional. This is another one similar. Isn't that pretty? And then this is the one we're using, and that's it with this paper. So this is the paper I used for this card. Of course, today I like to give you a different look, a different idea. It's also floral. I love my florals, so a lot of the cards I make are with flowers or some kind of greenery. So this will go in here. This is Misty Moonlight, this kind of color, so I use that for the ink. And then in here is Crumb Cake, and I use the white. So I'll have all the instructions, the measurements, and all of that below. There's a link called a project sheet, and you can go to that and get all the instructions to make a card like this with your papers and whatever you have. So today we are going to use this other paper, and I have it all out because this is a little bit different. I always have to look. Frames and Flowers Designer Series paper. So in this pack you get 3 sheets, and we're using the back of this, and then we're using this for the front piece that will fold. So see, it has a nice background, and then you get this 3rd sheet, which would work as well. I just thought this was a little loose, and you know, I wanted something more condensed. And then in this you get these card layers. So these all punch out, and then you have this strip. I had a hard time when I did my paper share with cutting around and giving everybody equal parts because they got 1/4 of a pack of paper. And then you get all these die cuts. I was going to try to use a die cut like this on the card, but I think it's too big and it would kind of overpower. So we're going to do this same kind of look. So you get 2 sheets of the die cuts. Aren't they pretty? So these would be very easy cards to just cut a card front with the designer series paper and put one of these cutouts on it. So I just left this out so I could show it to you because it's I didn't realize what it was going to look like myself until I got it. So these are the pieces. Again, don't worry about measurements. We'll have it all in the project sheet. So I'm using white. This is a thick basic white. I use this for card bases. We have regular basic white, and the thicker one is what I would use for a card base. It just has a little bit more thickness to it, a little sturdier. And then we have this sheet. So this is 3 by 8, and we are going to score it right in half. So we're going to score it at 4 because it's a 3 by 8 sheet. So we'll go right here and score it. You don't have to do too much scoring with the designer series paper because it's thin. So we'll just kind of burnish it here. And then I was trying to decide whether to use, this is the Pretty Peacock, and that's a color in here, and then this is Pumpkin Pie. So I was back and forth, but Pretty Peacock won. It always wins with me because I love it. So this is going to sit on this, just like this sits on the crumb cake. So let's put this together. Let me just decide. I'm not going to write anything or put anything on the inside like I didn't here because it's very small. And I could just write a note, especially since it's hello. If it was some kind of birthday or something, you might want to put something in here. And then this one, I'm going to do a miss you. So again, I want to just leave it blank so that you can write a little note on it. But you can, if you were going to stamp it, I would stamp it before I adhere it. That's the thing. Stick before you stamp is what Sarah Douglas, our CEO, says. So that you don't ruin something because you stamped it, you have your whole card made, and then you stamp the inside, and all of a sudden, it didn't stamp right. You could always cover it with a label or put another piece inside, but it's just better to have it done before you stick it down. So we're going to stick that in here, and then we're going to adhere this. So this doesn't matter that it's kind of upside down because it's going to be adhered right to this little second card base for the inside card. And we just want this, and let me put it on the white so you can see it. Make sure it's straight and centered and all of that. So let's put this down. So this is a standard card base, but it's just one layer, right? So we're going to put, this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. I almost did this here, but I thought this is so small, I thought this might get lost. I love it. These leaves remind me of another paper we had with the Pretty Peacock. I forget what it was, but it was very pretty. I love our designer series papers. Okay, and then this is going to sit on this. Isn't that pretty? But before we do that, we have 2 squares. One is the white is 3 1/2 by 3 1/2, and the designer series paper is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And we're going to make triangles out of this. Now, on this one, your direction kind of matters. If it's a direction like this, see this? When I cut this, I could only use 1/2, and the other half would be upside down, so I kind of discarded it. But this, you can use both halves, so you can get 2 cards for the price of 1. So we're just going to get our trimmer out, and we'll just cut it, each piece. And I have the other half of this white, but I figured I would show it to you. We're going to put the point and the point right in that groove so that we cut it right in half. So we're going to cut, and it kind of moved a little bit, but that's okay. I should have held it better. So now we have 2 of these, and we're going to have 2 of these as well. So put the point right in the groove, hold it down. Okay, so now we could make 2 cards out of this, but we're only going to use 1 for now, and maybe I'll go back and make another one. All right, so let's glue these together, and we'll glue this down. This is such an easy card to make. And I think you could even put a gift card in here. Maybe not even in a pocket. I guess you could put a pocket and have it go in this way. Or you could just put some glue dots on it and stick it in there. Not too fancy. Because I think it would be a good size for that. So they would open it up. And if you did that, you could put a little note up here. Just an idea. It's always good to have gift card holders. That's what we made last week. If you missed it, you can go to my channel and see a gift card holder. So this is going to sit here. This, oh, I already glued it. Duh. I'm trying to pick it up to glue it. And then these whites are going to line up together. So you want this to be right down to the bottom so that it looks like it's all. And for this, I'm going to use, you could use the liquid glue, but I want to use my tear-in tape because I want it to be very secure. So as it's getting pulled in and out, we don't have any problems. So we're just going to do all the way to the edge. And let me just get my scissors. Okay, and then we're going to go like this. And I probably should have cut that at an angle. This one I'm going to cut at an angle. And don't worry if it's a little bit overlapping, we can fix that. Just press it down so it's nice and pressed down good. I'm going to use my take your pick tool and just pull this up. Whoa. It didn't look like it was down. Let's go over here. You just have to get between the release paper and the sticky part. And I'm just going to bend this over a little bit. I feel like it's not sticking. It's not sticking. I must have pulled it off somehow. So let's put another piece here. So this side is not sticky. That's why it's not working. I must have somehow pulled it off when I used it before. That's okay. We'll just add another piece. Am I going the right way? Okay. We'll just add another piece here. And I'm going to actually overlap it so I don't have a gap there. And we'll just cut this. And see, it's hanging over, but that's okay. So let's just press this down. We'll get our take your pick tool, take off the backing, and see how it's there. We're just going to fold it back. Very easy. Let's see if this one does better. I've never had that happen to me. So there's a first time for everything, right? Now we want to make sure, and this is very sticky, so you want to make sure before you really press it down that it's all lined up. So there we have this. Isn't that pretty? And we have this extra. This will just come right in here. Now you could put a sentiment up here. I kind of like it down here. And we are going to do the same thing. So for this one, I use the Stylish Shapes. This is one of my favorite sets. It's got the circles, the squares, it's stitched, it's got the banners, it's got everything. And then the stamp set I use for both. I did the hello. This is Simply Said. This is a great set. It's got birthday, thinking of you, birthday here, thanks, just a note, everything I need. So this one we're going to do with Miss You. And so I use the second from smallest for the white, and then the third from smallest for the Pretty Peacock or the Crumb Cake. And we're just going to get our Pretty Peacock ink and just ink this up and just center it. Miss You. And then we can put this on the Pretty Peacock, kind of the matte. With some glue. And then I'll put it on with a dimensional. And I didn't put any bling on this. I'm trying to decide. I feel like it doesn't need it. I know, you know, people love their bling. Maybe we'll put something on here. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. So I have a brand new set of my dimensionals. That makes me happy. And we'll just put 3 on. And just take off the backings. See how easy it is? How quick? It's a great way to highlight your designer series paper, your pattern paper, whatever paper you use. I use Stampin' Up! Products, so I use the designer series paper, but it works with any kind of paper. Does it need bling? I don't think it does. I'm going to leave it. So there's this one, and this just opens. Hello, and write a little message, and then miss you. So I think they're really cute. Thanks so much for stopping by. Again, I'll have my new calendar out tomorrow, and we'll see what we make next week. I don't even know yet. Have a great week, and take care. Bye.